Visiting a loved one with a glass wall in between you, not an easy visit. So I am here to help shed some tips to make your visit a little better. I'm Kari Barrett with the Unexpected Caregiver. So the first thing you need to do is set up the visit, and generally that goes through the community services or activity department. And I want you to know that these people are doing everything they can to help make a good visit for both the resident and for you, because they want you to connect. So please, please be extra kind to them when you're setting up your visit. Once you have your visit set up, you show up that day, wear something bright, because you know what? That just is cheery and helps the situation. And depending on where your loved one is on their disease journey, know that they could either recognize you right away or not recognize you. And just know that the goal is always, if someone has a disease that causes dementia, to get into their reality. Meet them where they're at. That's just a good tip to always remember. So you may want to, when you first see them, say, "Hey, Mom, it's Kari, your second daughter. It's so good to see you." And then pause, let them respond. They may say, "What, who?" And then you can repeat that. Or, "I don't have a daughter," which is always the toughest one, which then you can say, "Well, I bet if you did, you'd really like her, and I'd like to be your daughter." Again, it's all about role playing and going with their reality. If they do recognize you, hallelujah, isn't that wonderful? And you can go on with your visit. Another thing that I sometimes recommend is to bring in an object. So for example, if I was visiting my mom, I would bring in this little one, my Raggedy Ann that I had and carried with me everywhere as a child. So I'd say, "Hi Mom, it's Kari, your second daughter. Look who I found." And then Mom might fill that in and you can have a conversation. And maybe your loved one doesn't recognize this, but that's okay. You can say, "Look at the cool hair," or you can talk about the object. What it does is it breaks the ice to get past that awkward moment of where we generally fill in with, "How are you?" which is not always a good thing to ask. It's a difficult question. So you can bring in an object and start a conversation. The other thing is to remember that your loved one may very well feel frustrated because they would like to hug you or see you. And if, depending again where they are in their disease process, they may know that this is a frustrating time and they may express that. And your job isn't to necessarily make them feel better, but you can first of all sympathize with them. "Yes, this is frustrating. I would rather be sitting by you and holding your hand or giving you a hug." So you can acknowledge that. So again, you've set up the appointment with the activity staff. You're wearing something bright colored. You're reintroducing yourself. You're bringing in an object, and you're getting into their reality, but you're also, if they recognize that this is an odd time, you are sympathizing with them. Yes, it is an odd time. And the last thing I'll say, because there are so many more tips, but the last thing I want to say in this video is that sometimes just sitting in silence is also okay. It's also okay. My dad sits with my sister with Huntington's disease on the phone for half an hour with the phone down, and they just share time together and once in a while say something, and it's okay. So know that these visits are difficult, but with a few tips, you can make them maybe a little easier, and they don't have to be that long. For other tips, I recommend dementiamap.com, because they share tips on how to make these visits go smoother. And if you want to reach out to me, my contact information is in the link below, unexpectedcaregiver.com. I hope you have a good visit with your loved ones.